Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something really powerful. This idea that building the right kind of professional relationships, it's not just some soft skill. Nope, it's a core strategy for creating real, tangible value.
So let's just start by tearing down a stereotype we all know, right? The aggressive, pushy salesperson just hunting for that one-time score. I mean, that image is basically a dinosaur, because the way we create real, sustainable value, it's completely changed.
You know, the author Daniel Pink puts it perfectly. He says, we've basically moved on from the information age. It's now the conceptual age. Think about it. Our old economy was built on who had access to information. But now, it's all about what you can do with that information. Just having the facts isn't enough anymore. The game has changed, and it rewards a totally different kind of thinking. And that's where the key player in this whole new age comes in, the empathizer. I mean, what is an empathizer, really? He's just someone who can genuinely put themselves in another person's shoes to really get what that person is feeling. So you see, it's not just about what you know anymore. The real currency is how deeply you can connect with and understand other people. Okay, so let's dig into this. How exactly do relationships create value that goes way, way beyond just a single sale?
And to really get this, we've got to start with the inner game. It all begins with your mindset.
See, the most effective strategies are always built from the inside out. It's like the great Stephen Covey said, you can't build effective relationships by just memorizing a few clever lines. It doesn't work that way. They have to grow out of your core character. And think about it, in a world where so many products look the same, that trust and communication you build, that becomes your #1 competitive advantage. And this really paints a picture, doesn't it? The contrast is just so stark. On one side, you've got win-lose people. They're always, and I mean always, looking for someone to blame. They see problems everywhere and they're stuck in the past. But then you've got the win-win people. Totally different story. They're focused on fixing the cause of the problem. They're out there actively helping others and their eyes are on building a better future. Look, adopting this win-win approach is not just some nice, fluffy idea. It's a long-term survival strategy. It is the absolute foundation for creating relationships that actually last and generate real value for everybody involved. So the first core quality of this whole mindset is empathy. And you can think of empathy as, well, it's like your superpower for understanding what's really going on with the client. It's how you pick up on that critical, unspoken feedback that tells you, hey, maybe I should adjust my approach, or, I need to dig a little deeper here. Okay, now the second quality might sound like a total contradiction at first. It's called ego drive. This is that inner fire, right? That personal need to hit the goal, to make the sale. It's the engine that keeps you motivated and makes you resilient. But here's the real key, the secret sauce, if you will. Empathy and ego drive. They aren't opposites, not at all. They work together, they powerfully reinforce each other. Think of it this way. Your ego drive is the gas in the tank, giving you the motivation to succeed. And your empathy? That's the GPS, giving you the insight and connection to actually get there effectively. All right, let's move on. How does this internal mindset actually get broadcast to the world? Well, it's through the signals you send, the nonverbal cues that happen before you even say a single word. Malcolm Gladwell wrote about this, and it's fascinating. When two people meet, these judgments are made in, like, the blink of an eye. It's often totally subconscious. The scary part? Your nonverbal signals can either powerfully back up your words and build trust, or they can completely contradict them and create instant suspicion. And get this, it shows just how detailed these signals can be. Take something as simple as a handshake. It's telling a whole story through these 5 different factors. Are you projecting warmth and strength? Or are you coming across as indifferent, maybe even nervous? Believe me, the handshake tells all. Your appearance is another huge communication channel, right? And it really boils down to these 4 principles. Simplicity, that's all about avoiding distraction. Appropriateness, that shows you respect the situation and the person you're meeting. Quality, well, that's a direct investment in your own credibility. And finally, visual integrity just means that all the little details, from your shoes to your hair, they all work together to send one consistent professional message. And of course, there's your voice. Let's not forget that. A flat, monotone voice can just suck the energy right out of a room. But a voice that has some life in it, that varies in tone and speed, one that's genuinely charged with energy, man, that is contagious. It transmits enthusiasm and real belief in what you're saying. Okay, so we've covered the silent signals. Now let's talk about the actual words you use. How do you go from just a transaction to building a real human connection through conversation? That first conversation where you're just getting to know someone, it is absolutely critical. Seriously, those first few minutes are a fork in the road. You can either create that awkward tension and distance of a typical sales call, or you can lay the foundation for a long-term relationship built on trust.
And you know, the advice from Dale Carnegie's classic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's as spot on today as it ever was. It's simple, really. When you become genuinely interested in other people, when you listen more than you talk, and when you search for that common ground, that's when you stop being just another vendor and you start becoming a partner.
Okay, last piece of the puzzle here. To become a truly valued partner, this whole strategy can't just be for your customers. You have to think bigger. You have to think about the entire ecosystem.
You know, the real high performers, they get this. They know they need to build strong, win-win relationships with all four of these key groups. Your customers, that's a given, but also those secondary decision makers, the assistants, the finance people, they're crucial. Then there's your own company support staff, the people who actually help you deliver on your promises. And finally, your own management, because they're the ones who give you the resources and support to succeed.
But here's the thing. Becoming that valued partner, that central hub of positive relationships, it doesn't just happen by accident. It is a choice. It requires a deliberate, ongoing commitment to getting better. You are the one in control of that switch. So here's a simple but super powerful framework to help you on that journey. First step, set clear goals and write them down. Second, use visualization. Actually picture yourself succeeding. Feel what it's like. Third, you got to manage that internal monologue with positive self-talk. And last but not least, when you make progress, you have to acknowledge it. Reward yourself for it.
Because ultimately, professional growth is a choice we make every single day. The truth is, you're never really just standing still. So the question this whole strategy leaves us with is a simple one, but it's vital. Every day, in every single interaction, are you actively getting better or are you passively getting worse?